I'm excited you're here. I'm excited that this is going on today and I get a chance to contribute to your guys' world. So, those three mistakes. Well, these are three mistakes I constantly encountered in my own work with codependency. They've creeped up now and again over the last 15 years of doing this, and they are pernicious. They're going to get us, guys. And so we got to be really conscious, really honest with ourselves about what's going on so that we can approach it appropriately and actually, make a difference. Because a lot of times with codependency, we're passive. We're waiting for something else to happen so that we can react to it. Codependency is definitely a reactive experience and not necessarily something that wants to be proactive. Stepping out of our comfort zone, doing different things can be actually quite terrifying. And these are this element influences these three mistakes that you're likely doing in your life that keeps you stuck in your codependency, keeps you stuck in going through what's called a therapy loop where you're just not making any progress. You get an aha, you feel better, but nothing really changes. Your behavior doesn't change, your points of view don't change, your emotional responses to things don't change, your life doesn't change. It keeps being the same old thing over and over. So, mistake number one that you may be doing here, hi Mandy, is consuming knowledge, but never doing anything with it. And this is really easy to find out if you're doing this. How many books, self-help books especially, have you read and done nothing with? You read it, you feel better, you set it down, and do nothing the book has outlined. Or maybe you try it out for a little bit, like a day or a week, and then you don't do it anymore. You forget about it. It doesn't really feel good to do because, hey, it's pushing you out of your comfort zone. Or you don't know how to do it. That's a huge thing I had with me. How do you do it? How do you do it? That's the number one question I get from y'all, from a bunch of badasses out there trying to get this worked out. We're always trying to figure out how to do it. And so maybe we think the next book will do it, or the next, sometimes it's even digital courses or therapists or YouTube videos. We're just consuming the knowledge, hoping that it'll tell us how to do it. In reality, we're not actually doing the experiment. We're not actually putting it to use. This is what I call a self-helping maze, where we're just reading and consuming and trying bits and pieces of things temporarily, but not long enough, not deep enough, not persistent enough to actually see results. And another big challenge with this is we have a lot of knowledge, but we don't know how to put it together in a way that actually translates or creates a lasting change for ourselves. That's because we're dealing with blind spots. We don't know what we don't know. We're not aware of what we should be aware of. And we're not able to actually gauge our own progress, our own awareness, our own success, because we're consuming knowledge. We're not getting third-party qualified points of view about our situation, what we're dealing with. Dealt with that a lot until I got myself mentors, and then boom, things changed right there. So are you consuming knowledge and not putting it to use? That's going to get you stuck. A second thing we tend to do here, guys, especially with codependency, is we do not regulate our anxiety daily. We tolerate our anxiety. We do not allow ourselves to shift down, relax, and get in tune with ourselves. We don't allow ourselves to experience a sense of calm, safety, or even pleasure or play about growing. In fact, our anxiety gets us thinking about all the unlikely yet terrifying consequences of change, right? Well, what if this happens, and what if that happens? What if they hate us? What if there is nobody that loves us, right? What if you can't actually heal? What if I just have to tolerate this? What if I screw it up? What if I make a mistake? These are the common things that our anxiety has us doing. We're not regulating it. What I mean by regulation is we help our nervous system and our mind calm itself down. And by doing this, we help actually reprogram our mind and body to respond to things differently if we're persistent about it. Now, if you struggle with anxiety and you don't know how to regulate it, well, I've got a solution for you. You can actually use what's called touch regulation and breath regulation, and I will link them in the comments below so you can get access to those tools, or you can get access to my system called Calm, which is part of the Codependence to Confidence system. It teaches you how to do this and then gives you a daily practice that allows you to accomplish this very easily. You can do these techniques in public. It's not a hard thing to do. Nobody would actually notice you're doing them. They have been instrumental in me eliminating my own anxiety and panic disorders and being able to move through the natural anxiety we're going to face in life, especially when we're doing things we're not used to, right? So, and change, especially for us codependents, is often riddled with anxiety because change has always had a negative consequence for us. Now, if we're going to apply the knowledge we're consuming and actually regulate our nervous system so that we feel more calm and empowered, we can actually have change or consequences we like. We can have positive consequences. And this leads to the third mistake y'all are doing. I certainly have done this myself, is we believe our fears. Most of our fears aren't actually rational. They're not actually going to happen. Now, that doesn't mean that if you're in a toxic relationship and you have fears about them harming you or taking your children or cutting off the money, those are legitimate fears because that situation is actually happening for you. It's important to understand things about fear and about danger. Fear is largely about context. It's this future projection on an unknown that says, well, this is going to happen, so we shouldn't do this. Danger is a situation you can actually assess and then make decisions about. So when you believe your fears, things about the future that you don't really have control of and you can't really predict, that's going to cause you to go in a specific direction, usually towards what you feel comfortable with. And if you're codependent, that means staying right where you are, tolerating either empty, inefficient, or non-fulfilling relationships, friendships, work, business, whatever it might be, or staying in a toxic system because it's just easier to deal with. You know what it is, it's predictable, and you're unwilling to breach or venture out into a possibility. And that's understandable, guys. I get that. Especially if you're in a toxic system, what you want to do is start regulating your anxiety and start opening up to the possibility of a better future for you, and that there are resources and ways that will come to you, that will show up and allow you to break free of that. And I speak from personal experience and my clients. You guys do it all the time. Now, sometimes we have to tolerate those kinds of situations because there's reasons to do that. Generally, though, there are ways to expand your life outside of that toxic context and actually build happiness for yourself. You just have to be willing to stop committing mistake number one, consuming knowledge and not applying it. Apply number two, where you can regulate yourself down from anxiety and get back into curiosity and to play. And that allows you to stop believing your fears and actually start trusting your abilities, trusting your hopes. Because hopes are not something that we take seriously a lot in our lives. We hope it's real. We hope it's going to happen. But really, if we have a genuine hope, a genuine desire for our life, like a happy, healthy relationship, that seems to be like the number one thing we all want in our lives. Or if we want a better job, a better career, more play, more travel, whatever it might be, those are things we can invest in. Those are things we have power in accomplishing. But we have to stop believing our fear and start believing that we can have that can be ours. Because when we open up to that, then it unleashes our natural brilliance. Our brilliance is our ability to access and connect with things that really matter to us, and to connect with inspiration and action that will connect us to it. So, are you committing these 3 mistakes? Are you consuming knowledge and not acting upon it? Are you not regulating your anxiety back to calm so you can be creative? And are you believing your fears rather than trusting in your abilities and believing your hopes? Guys, one thing about all this that's really important for you to understand is that the codependent mind, the mindset that is there, the conditioning, tells us the future is going to be the same as the past, right? And this is a loop that gets us stuck in hopelessness and powerlessness. We internalize that as I can't change anything, and then we're stuck. But the thing we have to tune into here is different actions lead to different results, and choosing different people in our lives will lead to different results in our relationships. And that includes choosing a different relationship with ourself, our value, our wisdom, our brilliance. When we start to see ourselves through the lens of love, through the lens of confidence, then we can see a different future for ourselves. But we have to make that choice. That is an action we have to take. And we don't take it once. We have to be persistent with it. Because the human brain is very slow at adapting to new things and new beliefs because it distrusts it, especially in our case where we've been adrenalized and put into states of fear for a long period of time. Well, it's not unusual for us to fear change, but you can break through it. And that starts with acknowledging these 3 mistakes and then doing the opposite. Actually apply what you're learning. Go out there and persistently and deliberately apply it. That's where the magic is. The students and my clients that actually get the results, like being married again to a healthy person, having healthy, happy friendships, having successful businesses, being generally just happier, more confident, and more at peace with themselves. That's the real results, the return on investment they get with this. They're the ones who are persistent in acting on the knowledge they've gained, okay, from me and from others that they've been access to. They're persistent in regulating their anxiety down into calm, and they're persistent in believing their hopes and trusting in their abilities despite their fears. The magic you have within you, the brilliance you have in you, is connected to eliminating these 3 mistakes and then connecting with your 3 empowered actions. Acting on knowledge, getting curious, getting out there and seeing what happens. Building in calm, getting curious again about yourself, about life, getting playful. And then taking the action necessary for you to accomplish your hopes. So that's what I want you to think about this today, guys. How are you doing with these 3 mistakes? How is this aborting your dreams, getting in the way, causing you to believe that nothing's really going to change, that there really is no hope? I want you to really get honest with yourself there, because this is what you've got to look at before you can take the big leap. The big leap of investing in yourself, getting out there and doing the different thing, taking on different points of view, doing experiments, actually engaging with your life outside the codependent mindset and in more of a confident mindset. This is how we do it. And this is what I teach and train you guys how to do this in Codependence to Confidence. That's what Codependence to Confidence really is. It's the big how-to system. How to be confident instead of codependent. How to actually create confidence out of codependency. That's what I needed, and that's what I created there for you guys. And this is really why I created it, because my therapists, even my mentors, and a lot of my own self-help work wasn't working. I wasn't getting the how-tos. I was getting knowledge and suggestions, but I didn't have step-by-step processes. I didn't have experiments that I could apply very easily, very rapidly to life and see results quickly. I mean, students see results within 4 weeks in enrolling into Codependence to Confidence and putting those tasks, putting things to work. That's a big and powerful thing right there. So if you're struggling with how to be happy, how to be confident, how to say no without guilt, without a fear, how to pick healthy people, how to have a healthy, reliable, persistent, consistent relationship, how to know who you are, how to know what you want, how to let go of the feelings. Man, that's a biggie. How to let go of the shame, the fear, the guilt, the fear, the resentment, the need for justice. How to let go of your attachment to the narcissist. That's what Codependence to Confidence teaches you. So if this is resonating with you and you want in on this is something you're going like, yeah, I want to know how to do these things, then I invite you to apply. You can do that by going to apply.freetheself.com. I will put the link in the comments below when we're done here. Guys, it's time for you to kick some butt in your life, and you can do that by identifying with these 3 mistakes, seeing what ones are relevant for you, and then doing the opposite. Apply what you learn. Regulate that anxiety into calm. Start believing in your ability. Start trusting yourself. You've got this. So thank you guys for showing up today. I appreciate you. I will see you for tomorrow's training. And I invite you to apply to Codependency to Confidence. If you want to learn more, just I'll be posting the links below. You can take the masterclass or apply directly, and then we can talk. Thank you guys. I appreciate you. You have a great day. Bye-bye.